Welcome back to What Arty Noobs with General Disturbance. This is the Grille, the Tier 5 German SPG. It's located on the north spawn of Siegfried line and it's under the command of 27BAGPUSS of REBRN. And that's a 3 marked Grille. Oh, be afraid, be very afraid. Okay, well, the Grille, based on the Hexa hull, it was actually a late design during the war, 1943 to 1944. They only built 282 of them. Now it's got a 15cm howitzer, capable of 480 alpha, and with the stun shells, it'll do 38mm of armor pen and 6.7 meters on the blast radius, between 6.5 and 10.5 seconds of stun. He's trying to locate a target. He's found one, a Type 64 who's out in the field. He's been spotted and is being shot at, but I think he's trying to get into that bush so he can spot the rest of our team. And so I will probably lay a shell down on top of that bush. And he did, precisely. Now, it doesn't appear that the 64 was in there, but he might have damaged him. We never know. Won't know until the end of the game. Okay, we've got a strip, M4257, the premium strip. 4-shot autoloader, and he gets some stun on that guy. Stun doesn't last very long with the Grille because it's only got a 15cm, mainly because it's not a very powerful howitzer at that. It's a very short barrel for a howitzer. Okay, he's found a poodle out in the field, and he decided not to shoot because, of course, he didn't want to A, waste the shell, and B, he thought that poodle would move to me immediately after he shot. Okay, looking back out in the field again, and we can see that there's an AMX 1357 hiding behind the bunker. Now this Arty has a very high trajectory on the shells, which means that they come down almost vertically on the enemy. And he just got a direct hit on that AMX 1357. So he's probably suffering right now because he does have very thin armor. That's why that tank is so fast. And there's the Type 64. Now he is missing some hit points, but that may have been from the hit that he received earlier. I think he did take one hit from somebody out in the field. Oh, we got a big reticule bloom there. It's only a 10-degree arc, 5 degrees either side, and so it does tend to bloom very quickly. So having some of these new skills, such as concentration and also the communications expert, really does help. Okay, that Panther, well actually we haven't seen this Panther before. It's a tier 7 game with tier 5 tanks in it, so he's bottom tier. He's showing with no damage so far, but oh my god, he must have got a penetrating shot on the AMX 1357 because he's only showing 27 hit points left, and barring another shot by one of our teammates, oh, he got the splash kill. So he's definitely got a kill on the books, and potentially he's got about 600 hit points of damage. I think he might have got a high roll with his shot. Now the enemy art in this game are a Grille and a Fifi, the 105 FH18B2, and just missed the IS-2. Okay, so the Fifi can probably shoot over the entire range of the map. Our IS-2 doesn't move quickly enough, and that IS-2, or our T-52 rather, didn't move quickly enough. And the enemy IS-2 managed to kill him with a 122mm round. Rounds out, this should be accurate. Yep, 146. He was fully dialed in, and it looks like our teammate in the Bishop managed to get around on the IS-2 as well. The guy's retreating under fire. He's pulled back, but I think we can get a shot through there. Okay, he's waiting. Sometimes you have to be very patient to know where to put the shell. Rounds out. 5 seconds of stun. That's all he got from that one. But I think he did track the guy actually momentarily. Okay, our T-34-85 knows that the guy's there, so we're loaded, and he's going to appear. There he is. Right, now we can stun him, track him, and that actually does hit him for 166. The T-34-85M is going to go to town on him in the meanwhile. And we've just picked up the communications expert as well, so that's another 2.5% crew skills for the rest of the game. And that AMX 13 FL11 just met a whole world of trouble with that Skoda, and that's another splash kill. So that's 2 he's done out in the field. The Skoda tore him apart bit by bit, took him down to 1 shot, and we managed to get the splash. So BAGPUSS is doing rather well. Now he decided to fire for that bush just in the off chance that the T64 was, or Type 64 was still there. The Panthers, yeah, the Panther took out the Skoda. Problem is the Panther is now headed this way, and he could spot us if he gets close enough. So it might be worth our while retreating just to get a bit of cover between us and him. Because if we fire this howitzer, more than likely he'll spot us. But we're going to have a go at him anyway. Changing position. We're 2 up on the enemy at the moment. The Type has suddenly appeared. And he's taking fire, but not from us. In fact, I'm looking there closely at the moment. I think it may have been the T-34-85M who managed to get around in, and so did the Shure MV7X. Anyway, for the meanwhile, it's making him pull back. BAGPUSS, I think, has other ideas. I think what he's going to do is he's going to try and move south by going through the town and shooting from the middle of the town against the enemy. Because he can shoot into the enemy rear, and you can see there's a number of enemy tanks in the rear who we can hit, who aren't really engaged in the battle at the moment. Plus, of course, we get away from that Type 64, who could suddenly appear out of nowhere, and he is getting close. Getting closer to our cap, that is. We can't see the Panther. We can't see the Type 64. We've marked the spot. The Nashorn's coming back to try and help. And now we're down by 1 tank, so it's gone the other way now. Most of our guys are in the town, except, of course, for the Nashorn, who suddenly sees the Type. Now, he's probably going to try and take advantage of that wreck, but that could actually damage him. Oh! What a shot! The shell hit the rear of the Type 64 and obliterated him. And the T-20's got nothing to shoot at. It wasn't the Nashorn who was doing the shooting, it was the T-20. Of course, he probably had the 90mm gun, which is why he did so much damage. And we're trying to loop shells or round the corner onto that Panther. Oh, enemy Arty firing in our direction. Yep, it did land nearby. You can hear that rumble all of a sudden. You know somebody's firing at you. In fact, they've just done it again. So I suspect that might be the 105FH18B2, because the Grille has a much longer reload time. Okay, the Panther is coming on and gets taken out. Again, that T-20 showing himself. So BAGPUSS now has 3 kills in the game, and he's looking for some more. I must admit, that shell on the Type 64, that was epic, because I thought he was going to miss the guy altogether. The shell was just going to be too wide, and the guy was moving too fast. But he caught him on the rear just as he was going down the slope, and it just went straight through his armor. So I suspect that is definitely going to be seen as a penetrating shot. Okay, Poodle confronting our IS. Now, let it settle, let it dial in. This is good, this is good. Rounds out. That's a big hit for 219, helps the IS. And the kill shot goes to the Nashorn. We're 1 above the enemy now. Just spotted an M10 RBFM. I like the way BAGPUSS let that dial in as close as he could before he shot, because he knew that this Arty is very accurate if you give it time to dial in. And there's the enemy Hummel, and he's using the top gun, not the stock gun, and he gets taken out by the FP304 on our team. So all we've got left on the Arty side, because we did lose the Bishop, all we've got left is the FP304. As I said, it's a tier 7 game with tier 5 tanks, so we're bottom tier, he's middle tier. But somewhere over here is an M10 RBFM. There's only 4 enemies left. They're Grille, they're Fifi, the M10 RBFM, and a Panzervier Ausführung H. And there's the Panzervier, and he's within range, so we might as well have a go at him. In fact, we're going to have to pull back a little to get the shell over the top of the building that's directly in front of us. And that was a direct hit from the Burt, the FP304. No explosion from that shell. Rounds out. And you can see the enemy is definitely looking for the tracer. He's seeing the tracer come in, and he's trying to work out where BAGPUSS is located from those tracers alone. That's why you don't put 2 tracers next to, or 2 Arty next to each other, because if you do, double the tracers makes it much more easier to spot where they are. BAGPUSS wouldn't do that, even though you do get a skill increase for side by side. It's just not worth having that extra 2.5% merely because you're sitting alongside each other. And you can see both enemy Artys very close together. We know where one is. One's in the bushes. The other one is behind or near the cottage. Okay, I think he saw where that happened. Now he's looking in that direction, but actually he should be looking at the cottages. And there's the back. There's the other one. The Grille's there. The Fifi is just a little further forward. Rounds out on the Grille. Lands in the water nearby. Okay, give it another go, because the guy's not going to... Oh, and that is the Burt getting the final kill. But the Fifi is in the bushes nearby. There he is. You can see that. And of course, you see, you worked out where they were purely by the fact that they stayed close together. In fact, the Burt looks like... the Fifi looks like he's trying to drown himself. And he has drowned. And we got the kill, because he was tracked whilst he was in the water, and he's died in the water. So that's that means there's only one enemy left. It's the M10 RBFM. So tier 5 tank destroyer, premium tank destroyer. So the best thing for us to do right now is to go to the enemy cap, and well, our Nashorn's going into the cap himself anyway. The possibility is the M10 might be hunting us, coming into the town to actually have a look for us. Okay, there's the 2-minute marker. The Strib's getting into the cap as well. He wants to hasten the end. No, he's actually... oh, he is sitting in the cap, yep. There. Oh, and the M10 did go looking for us, because he's at the other end of the map and the T20 is chasing him. So he went Arty hunting. He fired a snap in, but the kill shot goes to the T20, and that's victory. Here's the end of battle results for the first game, and it was an ace tanker for 27BAGPUSS, a REBRN in the Grille. He managed to get a fighter badge for getting at least 4 kills. He got 4 exactly. A bruiser medal for getting at least 5 critical hits. He got 16. He got a Nathan's medal. He took out all the enemy light tanks in this game, as well as a Brothers in Arms for getting at least 3 kills, and his platoon mate getting at least 3 kills as well in the game. In fact, I think his platoon mate got 4 kills, and we'll have a look at him later, because of course he's quite interesting in his own right. The win rate was 4001, which is Super Unicum standard. Let's have a look at team score. Well, we can see the highest damage in the game went to the T20, who managed to get a high caliber and a Confederate for 2,759 hit points. Second highest damage went to the Skoda T17 with 1,718. And the third highest damage, well, that went to the T3485M with 1,514. And then we can see 27BAGPUSS actually got 1,331, which actually put him in 4th place because there was nobody on the enemy team managed to get more than him, except the 3 above him. And so, yes, 4th place overall, brothers in arms, and Nathan's medal. Now, his platoon mate in this game was Bovingdon Tank Museum. Yes, it's actually a trash or member of trashed clan. But yes, and account number 4. So somebody at the Tank Museum obviously has set up an account, or somebody is running around saying that they're from the Bovingdon Tank Museum. But they still did very well because, of course, they did get 3 kills in the game, not 4 actually, and a win rate of 2,708, which is very creditable. If we look at the rest of the team scores, we can see the highest scorers of kills was 27BAGPUSS, 4 kills to him. 3 kills went to the T20, 3 kills went to his platoon mate in Bovingdon Tank Museum, and 3 kills also went to the Fifi on the enemy team. That was one of BAGPUSS's kills because, of course, he got hit whilst he was underwater and drowned. So that counts as a valid kill for him, and that means we did get the bonus for XP. When it came to base XP, we can see that the high scorer was the T20 with 1,294, and I think that's partially down to the fact that he was not only chasing for lots of damage, but he was also actually spotting for other people during that time as well. So he was benefiting from spotting and actual damage, and that's why his base XP was so high. The only player to get over 1,000 base in that one, 1,294. Second place goes to BAGPUSS with 934. And third place goes to the T3485M with 857. And there you can see Bovingdon Tank Museum with 589. A little further down the table in 5th place, but it's still better than anyone on the enemy team. And if we go to details, 27BAGPUSS fired 20 rounds in the game. Now, this Arty does carry 36 rounds, so he still have plenty of ammo left over. 5 direct hits, 2 penetrating shots, and 12 splash. Damage of 1,331, all of it at more than 300 meters. So if we did a quick look to see, did he penetrate the AMX? Yes, he did. That was the one. I think he hit him with a blind shot. The blind shot was the penetrating shot. The next time we saw him, he had virtually no hit points left, but he got the kill on him by splashing him to death. The Type 64 did get penned, 121 hit points and a pen, and that, I think, took him out of the battle. And did he pen the, well, that was the one which he actually hit in the rear, wasn't it? And I don't think there was any other pens. No, it's just the 2 pen. But the Type 64 was the shot he fired, which the guy went over the edge of the hill and it shot up his rear. So it did penetrate right through his posterior and gave him a nice kick in the rear as he was going. So going back to the details, 8 enemy vehicles were damaged, 4 were killed, 486 hit points of stun assist off 11 stuns. He earned a profit of 113,647 credits from that game on a premium count, including a 90,000 mission completion bonus. He got 25 bonds for another mission completion and 2,802 experience points altogether. That's a very good total for a Grille in a tier 7 game. But I suppose it's down to the fact, of course, that BAGPUSS does have a lot of practice in the Grille, and that's why he's got 3 marks of excellence. He knows how to handle this machine. He lets it dial in, and he gets accurate hits on the enemy. And yes, it definitely does pay in the long run. So I did say this is the first battle. Yes, there's 2 replays in from BAGPUSS. So let's have a look at his second one and see if he can do the same. The second replay is in the AMX 13110. No, it's actually not the AMX 13. It's the AMX 105AM, mle.47, the tier 4 French SPG, and we're on the southwest spawn of Arctic region. Well, this is actually a post-war design. It's a 105mm shell capable of doing 445 alpha, and it will penetrate through 30mm of armor with a damage radius of only 1.91 meters. So a little lackluster in damage, but it's still a valid Arty. Now, it was cancelled. They didn't actually go ahead and build this Arty. They did build its successor, though, which actually was valid. That's the AMX 13105 that I mentioned right at the start. In fact, one of the members of What Arty Noobs actually owns an AMX 13105. Oh dear, that 10TP had a death wish. I'm wondering if he did that on purpose, because there are some players who deliberately do this. They run into the enemy, trying to get as many spots as they can from the first moments of the battle, and they don't care if they die. They just want to get as many people spotted as possible. It's a bit unfortunate because, of course, all it's done is now we're one tank down. Oh, that was a lovely hit as well, 193. Yes, we're one tank down on the enemy, purely just so somebody could get some spotting. Okay, these guys are coming on a pair of hetzers. Rouse out. Beautifully timed. Direct hit for another 181. You can see that T3 trying to sneak up bit by bit. He's going from cover to cover, which is the right way of doing it. Unfortunately, he might be meeting a shell. Yes, he did. 290 hit points from one shot. I think that was a penetration. Yes, I think we could have anticipated that one. In fact, I think I did. Yes, he's going to meet a shell going the opposite way. Well, the hetzer's now one shot, or at least that one is. And the other one's making himself fairly vulnerable, manoeuvring a lot at the edge there. Hetzers may have well-angled armor at the front, very weak armor at the side, and that was a direct hit. In fact, I'm pretty sure that it was the Matilda that took that shot. Meanwhile, the enemy is almost being as silly as that 10TP it was at the start of the game. Look at these guys manoeuvring together, crunch into each other. One of them takes a hit for 176. The other one blasting away as if there isn't a care in the world. His teammate is almost about to go out the game if he carries on like this. They're bumping into each other, and I get the feeling he might be doing that on purpose. Well, the 14TP has now departed back to the garage, and the M5 Steward is setting himself up for a kill. He thinks he's being clever. He's not being clever at all. In fact, he's being rather silly. Rounds out. That was close. Very close. Now, the standard reload for this Arty is actually 8.91 seconds. Or is it? No, 15.34 seconds. I'm wrong. 14.36 is BAGPUSS' reload. I was looking at the wrong line when it said reload time. Okay, Matilda just hiding around the corner of the rock. Rounds out, direct hit. And he's lost a chunk of hit points as well. Two enemy tanks have reached the corner, and we can't hit them from our current position. But of course, in order to get to the cap, they have to come out. Oh, and the Matilda goes down, and that's his third kill of the game. And he's not stopping. Yes, he did knock a tree down when he backed up, but I don't think the enemy Arty will be paying much attention. He's a Sturmpanzer spy, and they've got a very short range, so I don't think he's actually within range. Fires around at the Panzer's S35, or 35. No, yes, it is 35. Lost all sight of the enemy. I don't think our Panzer 1C is actually looking. Okay, there's the Panzer S35. Yes, I'm not going to pronounce that one in German again. 25. I did, yeah, no, that's 25. 30. That's 30. For a second there, I thought he was going to park underneath the awning, but no, he's just changing position to get a better angle on the enemy. Okay, we can now see an M5 Stewart. That's the same one we were firing at before. He's lost a lot of hit points, and the Hetzer, Perfect target. Ah! He got that one too. 4 kills. If he carries on like this, he might actually get a Top Gun. There's the other Hetzer. He's looking our way. I get the feeling he wants revenge. And that guy's got a marker, an achievement marker for 3 ace tankers. Well, at least 3 marks of ace tanker. Because I think you have to get more than 3 aces just to get that mark. Quite a few, actually. Okay, he's almost loaded. He's loaded. Rounds out. Just over the top of him. Remember, he has been hit once. You can see there's a HE explosion happened in the gun there. He's transferring his target now to the M5 Stuart. We're just adjusting. Rounds out. Looks good. Hits the rock face. Unfortunate. You can see where the explosion was. And the M5 Stuart, well, he's using his pop gun. The pop gun's not the best gun to actually use, although it does fire off 5 shells in a volley. The fact of the matter is you're much more accurate with your first shot than you are with the ones that follow up. And unless you can actually get alongside your target, you're actually better off having the fixed gun that without the magazine loading. It'll also preserve your ammunition. Your first shot will always be your most accurate one, and that means you will have plenty of first shots that work. Okay, concentration skills working because he's stationary. The arc on this Arty is 60 degrees, 30 either side of the center line, and he's just seen a primary target. He fired the snap straight away because it's the FC M36 Pak-40. I didn't know the enemy team had one of them. They are primary targets, and we're one down on the enemy now. The Pak-40, as it's known, commonly known, is a very deadly tank destroyer. And we just lost our Panzer IC. And the reason he's moving in is because there's an enemy Hetzer moving about on the other side of the rock. So he's changing position again. Of course, the enemy will work out where the shells are coming from, but if you adjust your position in such a big way, there's a pretty good chance that they won't be able to work out where the next shell's coming from. Okay, he's knocking a few trees down, which will give him a bit of extra cover, but he's pulling back into the bushes. And I like this particular spot myself. I've occupied it more than a few times with short-range Arties. Very difficult for the enemy to spot you. So there's only 3 of us left on the team facing 5 enemies. It does, on the whole, look as if we had a bit of an inexperienced team, but it's definitely BAGPUSS who's leading the game because, of course, he's got 4 kills, and only player on the enemy team who's got 4 kills is that 3 ace tanker achievement Hetzer. There he is. There's only 1 Hetzer left on the enemy team. So he's just poking the corner just to see where everyone is. I think he'll let Mikey go first, as Klaus would say. And Mikey is going to be the Panzer S35. Enemy Arty's firing our way. And he missed. You heard that rumble? When you hear that rumble, if you've got your ears open, you can actually know somebody's firing in your direction. Oh, he got him! He got him! The Hetzer is no more. That's the best player on the enemy team. Now, we must know as well that the Storm Panzer Spy, Arty, must be fairly close to have actually fired in this direction. So he's also going to be somewhere nearby. Going to go for it again. Can we get a shot down into the gully? No, we can't get a shot. Changing direction again because we're expecting... Oh, well, the enemy RT went after the Panzer IC this time. And there's the Panzer S35, and he's taking fire from our guy, the same tank. Now that guy better watch out, because the Sturmpanzer has also got a very accurate arty with a high trajectory, so he can actually nail that guy if he can put one shot in. And meanwhile, the M5 Stuart's coming in, and we've lost... Oh, our Panzer S-35 fell over the edge and crashed down onto the ice below. So there's only 2 left versus 4. So we're outnumbered 2-1, and the enemy is closing in on the cap. Okay. Panzer Mark 5, the M5 Stuart exchanging fire with the Panzer 1C. Here comes the Matilda. Now, 105mm round. Yes! Right to the side of the turret. And he couldn't see us. He couldn't see us. Even though we're close to the cap, he just couldn't see us. And I think that's the stock gun. Oh, we hit him again. We're pulling back after each shot. Now, he is firing. I think that's the standard 2-pounder, not the Little John adaptive version. Trying for another shot. Gets him with this one, but we did take a round. Now we need to one-shot the Panzer S-35. Oh! Well, the good news is we did manage to get a Top Gun just before the Panzer S-35 managed to get a kill on us. Yes, you can see he went through the gun shield, which is a weakness, I'm afraid. No armor whatsoever. So unfortunately, we're now out of the game. But the good news is that the Panzer 1C is still in the game at this moment. So I think what we'll do is we'll come over here to see exactly what's going on. Our Panzer 1C is over in the gully. So he's taking on the M5 Stuart, who's now badly damaged. Well, somebody got a direct hit there. And the M5 looks like he's fallen on his side. I want to find this out. Did he fall on his side and actually get wiped out? Yes, he did. And I'm afraid that is the end of the battle. Here's the end of battle stats for the second game, and it was another ace tanker for 27BAGPUSS of REBRN in this game. Unfortunately, it was a defeat, but he did as well as he could. He did get the Top Gun, and he also got a Bruiser medal for getting at least 5 critical hits. In fact, he got 11. He got the high caliber for dealing the most damage in the game, and he got the Top Gun for getting at least 6 kills. If only he managed to get that Panzer S-35, but it's such a fast-firing gun, and he was able to get the damage on 27BAGPUSS before he could get close enough to ram him and take him out of the game, because he didn't have much in the way of hit points. And of course, the AMX 13, or the AMX 105 AM, would have been able to ram him, I think, because they're both basically medium tanks, but it would have taken the S-35 out of the game. But sadly, no, it wouldn't have helped in the long run, because the Panzer 1C wasn't capable of taking down that M5 Stuart until he actually fell on his side. Anyway, let's have a look at the team score and see where everyone was. Well, the highest damage was 1,698 hit points, and that went to 27BAGPUSS. Second highest damage was the Panzerkampfwagen S 25. Yes, because it's our one, it's the premium tank. And the third highest damage in this game actually went to the Type 5 Kehoe, who managed 986 hit points. So all of the players on top 3 positions are on our team. But the highest damage, definitely 27BAGPUSS, and a high caliber. The highest number of kills also went to BAGPUSS with 6. 4 kills went to the Hetzer, and of course he was taken out by BAGPUSS as well. And the Panzerkampfwagen S 35, he got 3 kills. That's the guy who killed BAGPUSS, and 3 kills went to the Pak 40, but he was taken out in the end. When it came to base XP, we can see the high scorer was the Pack 40 with 751. Second place, the S35 with 683. And in third place, it's actually the Panzer S35 on our team with 547. I think he did get some spotting assist out of that one as well. So, 26 rounds fired. 12 of those were direct hits on the enemy. 1 was a penetrating shot and 14 splash. Now, the penetrating shot we can see here will show it's actually the convert. This tank here, the Convert M7, I think it is. There we are. It's the Convert medium tank T3. That was it. It's the machine gun tank that you can actually get. I think it's a premium, actually, if I remember. If it isn't, then I'll need to check my stats again. But yes, he was the one who was actually penetrated. The guy was a blind kill, actually, because he was hidden behind the rock at the time, but he aimed at the corner and went right through the front of the vehicle. So yes, that was a nice kill. If we go back to the details, we can see he got 14 splashes, 1,698 hit points, of which 1,392 were at more than 300 meters. So there was some fairly close range stuff, most of that on the Matilda, and that's all. 6 hits received, 5 penetrating shots, 1 non-penetrating shot, and he damaged 6 of the enemy, killed 6 of the enemy, and got 7 defense points when he reset the cap. On a premium count, he actually made a loss of 345 credits from the game. But he did get 1,001 experience points out of this one as well. So both games are ace tankers, but the first one, of course, he actually got the win. And in this one, well, he aimed at Arty very accurately. And remember, this is an Arty you can't mark, so you can't get any marks of excellence on it. But he certainly does perform in it as if he has marked it, because he was very, very accurate on those shots. And this isn't a very accurate Arty. The one above it is, and of course the premium Arty, the 105 LEPH 18B2, that's also an accurate Arty. But this one is not so accurate. So he did very well to get all those lovely shots which took out enemy tanks when they were on the move. So I hope you enjoyed both of those replays. 2 very interesting games from 27BAGPUSS. If you did, please give this video a like, do subscribe to our channel, leave a little comment down below because it feeds the algorithm, and thank you for watching.